If you can fix yourself, na ikaw lang, powerful juga ka na tao, di ka kailangan uban. But doesn't mean na we don't need other people. When there are other people involved, it makes you better as well.
Nakabantay sa was good. No one actually cares.
Ooh.
No one actually is looking at you. It's all in your head, man.
Yeah.
Good. So when I was able to realize that, I was able to do a lot of things na.
It's so easy to get distracted with short-term relief ba, or dopamine. So if you face that head-on, especially, for example, mga problema ni mo, lisod mo mga mong kag-uban.
Welcome to Storyang Kinabuhi, wherein we talk about life, career, relationships, finances, ug uban pa. So karon we are doing another request episode from Angelo Iwikan, loneliness versus solitude. Unsay mo ang thoughts ana boss? Medyo deep siya nga ko topic.
Lauma sa itong topic eh. Lahi man duha. Okay, kung yung kag loneliness, that means that you are yearning for presence sa uban, di ba? Unya, solitude, that's having peace na ikaw ra. For example, ako na-relate. Ako, I'm into running. Naagi mga times na ganahan ko mga solo runs. Especially if long run. But karon, yung ba naman ka na ko running na malipay na pug ko. That means na dili ko ganahan na ako lang. Ako rapod. But I find peace as well in running alone. Ano man, kay mag-clear magod imo ang thoughts. Good. So muna buot pasabot anang solitude. You are alone with your thoughts ba? Masulbad nimo imuhang mga thoughts, everything na imuhang yun. Being lonely, lahi na po na siya on the other hand. Kaya you are yearning for presence sa uban. There's a difference between the two. So, ay mo kay bung dira, if inyong mga friends dira, mas mo prefer sila ra, na yung activities na ganahan nila sila ra, maybe naa sila magipangagian. Na ganahan nila ilasang pangkanon ba? Ana gani, ipang hanay, pang nanaog maayo na sila lang. Okay, syempre, if there are people around you, di mo ka maka-alone sa mga thoughts. No? Muna ako ang perspective, anak.
So from a perspective of an extrovert, extrovert man ko. Ako, I find solitude good as something naadyo ko, ana. I have been living alone for almost 3 years na. I find solitude in living alone good compared to before nga I was living with my siblings. Kay depende man pugod siya sa upbringing, boss. Ako ang upbringing man good, when me and my siblings were together, daghan big differences. So by the time na ni-move out ko, I found solitude in living alone. It was peaceful, and on top of that na mas better na ang relationship na mo as siblings. Mo lang ito, focusing on solitude. Mas naagyo ko'y naganahan nga ako rang usa compared to back then sa mga setup. Kaya I found solitude in that. Depende siya sa upbringing. Okay? So, from living under a roof, nga dagag differences from living alone with your thoughts, I found it more productive po sa akong part. I don't find it lonely. People would ask me, especially sa akong age group, I'm only 21, don't you find it lonely? No? I didn't find it lonely naman sad because nagsige ko go out, and then I had work rapod, and narapod akong former partner sa una. So, dili na ako ma-feel ba nga lonely ko ato nga time. Okay, even though wala ko'y pet or unsa, but I found solitude in living alone for almost 3 years na, until now. Kana boss, mga tanak ko nimo, as an introvert, would you find solitude in living alone?
Actually, ganahan ko dor. I'm really looking forward to it. Kay hopefully ma-turn over naman ako ang condo na. Kuha na gina siguro kung ako ra, kung life ra gyud kay matag sayo, mag-gym, mubalik, mag-anda para trabaho, balik ra ana. I find it very peaceful siguro. But dili man ingon po na 100% of the time ingon ana jud. Siguro I prefer lang pod siya kay ako motuo mo gud dor na ato ang mga thoughts mo gud. Powerful kina siya. So if you cannot deal with it on your own, ni kailangan kang ubang tao para mura siyang dopamine sa imuha na ma-distracted ka sa imuhang kagalingon thoughts. Isud na. Kay if you can fix yourself na ikaw lang, powerful juga ka na tao gid. Di ka kailangan uban. But doesn't mean na we don't need other people. It just means na you prefer that. For example, if naki mga challenges and everything, so baro ni may mga kagalingon una. But doesn't mean na di ka kailangan ubang tao. When there are other people involved, it makes you better as well. Kung naman ko ubang tao ko doon, di sila ganahan o sila lang.
Yeah.
Especially if nasa problema. Kay, when they're out with friends, ma-distracted mo gud sila. That means na dili nimo masulbad ang main issue na nimo karon. Diba? So for example, let's say you're having a crisis or quarter life crisis karon. Unya, ay mohang main way of distracting yourself is going out, hanging out, kay dopamine lagi. Mawa ka ba? But at the end of the day, niguli nimo mura gyapon, agyapon to ang mga thoughts nimo na negative. Whereas if ako mutuo mo ko na if you fix yourself, you have the power to fix yourself, powerful jud kayo ka. Why? Because na-conquer gud nimo yung pinaka powerful na butang ba, imong utok ba, anak gani. So muna siya ako ang take anak. Okay? That's why there are times na I do prefer, like for example, diba katong nagsugod ko running last year, no? Opo ko nakagad ninyo ato, no? Siyempre, for example, ni muran ko mga long run na lagyo. Ang uban kay mo ana na aya na ikaw ra sa pero para nako no kay therapy jud kay siya, grabe. Especially if there are challenges and pressures. No, ana gani. Mo siya therapy gyud. Pero nay uban pud na para nila kay lonely kayo na.
Yeah.
Depende, no?
Depende. Kani boss, what can you say about those people who are always conscious nga ingon ta estudyante ko, gigutom ko, mato ko kantin, pero koy kuyog oy.
Jesus. Ako personally, ikaw unsa man ka ana?
There was a time po sa ako ang, being a student sa unang ng anak ko. Kailangan yung ko na ako'y kuyog mo adto sa kantin. No? Kaya di ko mo adto o kanang di ko ako'y kuyog. So there was a time po ng anak ko nga I always need someone, even as simple as going to the canteen. Kailangan na ako'y kuyog. Karon, looking at it karon, no, I'm a very very different person karon. I go to the gym alone. I can also run alone. I do a lot of things alone. I work alone mga anak. Pero sa una, looking at it, nga you always depend on someone or people or a group so that you will do your activities as simple as going to the canteen. I think mo na siya ang kanang loneliness. You're always craving for someone's presence kay ang loneliness manggod, it has an emotional charge to it. Ang solitude manggod is you find it more peaceful, you find it more powerful, you find it that you are more productive when you're alone. It's a different story. There was a time nga conscious ko sa una. How about you?
Pag estudyante pa ko, siyempre, nga naman dyan agad, mga barkada, mga friends, mga uban dyan ka. Pero karon na ako yung mga kailan na mahadlok sila, mukhaong sila ra.
Oh, yeah.
O even ka na adults na karon ba?
Yeah.
Pero di kay ko private ano yung anak. Kay kung haninaon ni mo ako, di bang ko mahadlok mukha ako ra. In fact, ganahan gani ko. Ano gani. Pero for example, let's say karon no, syempre ako ang girlfriend, di mami pareha og kanang time. Di kami makadungag kaon pirmi. But if mag-date me, lahi po siya, lipay po kay ko. It's a different kuan ba? But if ako lang, di ba, ako'y choice, syempre lahi po kayo mag-dependent ko sa uban. Ako'y di na lang ako makaon. Pero tinood ba na kayo, na ako mga friends ako na pag-college, no? Even sa pagpili sa course.
Yeah.
Uban kay madlok mahagbong. Bitaw, isa na lang na imo kinabuhi mag-agad sa imong mga peers nimo. Di ka ka-act on your own. So kailangan you have to know to be at peace with yourself, who you are, o kinsa ka. Kay para kung nailaing tao mabot sa imong kinabuhi, di siya missing piece ba? Di ba? He or she helps you become better. So mo na siya even sa una, syempre, mga friends, mga hagad mo na anak mong gidor. Pero nagi mapanahon mo, paray kag imong kagalingon sa canteen or sa cafeteria. All the more pag college, pag trabaho na. Lahi naman siya. Kaya even until now, di ko mahadlok. Kung for example, mukha ako ra, di ko mahadlok. Naiuban na conscious kasi sila na, gitanon ako, dili man.
Nakabantay sa viewers good when you growing up na ba kay no one actually cares. Ang reality ba kay no one actually cares, no? No one actually is looking at you. It's all in your head man good. So when I was able to realize that, I was able to do a lot of things na. That's where I found solitude na. In living alone, in eating alone, going to the gym alone, or exercising alone. Like even kanang, let's say katong it's a long distance naman ron at to skate park, I go alone pero pag abot ako dito daghan na dag friends. So nalagi mga ingana nga mga perks ba. So I think it's very nice you find solitude in being alone. So keep in mind lahi ng alone versus loneliness. Because someone could be alone but he's at peace ragi di ay. Okay, so there are people po who's alone pero who's craving ba, who's very anxious na di ay. Kay siya rang usa. So it's not a bad thing man sa di ba? It's not a bad thing you feel loneliness. It's even something nga pwede nimo mahimuong amplifier, di ba? It could be an amplifier po that it's a challenge to conquer loneliness. So ganang kay ko to imong giingon boss nga at times na if alone ta, you find peace ra pud ba. And then when you are with someone, kay it's different. So it's very important man God that if you find solitude with oneself, ninot po kayo mong giingon boss na at challenges gani. If you are able to fix yourself, you become the most powerful version of you good. Especially if challenges or rock bottom na gyud nga rock bottom na mga problems or mga challenges sa imong kinabuhi. If you're able to fix that by yourself, although wala mo nag-encourage if you need someone to talk to, talk to them. But if you are able to kanang do the most difficult part in conquering the challenge or healing yourself alone, diha na gyud mahulma ang imuhang strongest version of you yun. Ito yung crucial kay na boss nga moagi gyud ang mga challenges or let's say mga downfalls, and then you do the most part of healing and recovering or making a comeback from it. Kay mo gyud na diha mo gawa sa imong best version gyud. Di ba? Would you agree na boss?
Yeah, okay. It's so easy to get distracted magud. Example, if you na mga pressures in life karon, it's so easy to get distracted with short-term relief ba or dopamine. So if you face that head on, especially for example, mga problema nimo lisod mga mong kag-uban. Di ako ingana ko mentality ha. Amo tuo mo ko na most sa atong mga problema naamo na si solution. Katag lang tago-na. That's why I love working out in the morning running kay mahan-ay mo gud ako ang mga sunod na mga pambuhaton. Although dili pa ni masulbad dayon right away today, pero mo clear bitaw imong adlaw. I'm sure siguro maka-feel ka na kung man mo workout nimo or indot ka na buhat. Working out is just one thing, ha? It depends on you kung sa man imong form of clearing. Muna gitawag clearing. Shout out to Cecily Marie for the term clearing. They do that sa I Am Discovery. Ako lang unconsciously gibuhat na din ko na kana isolation na lang kaya ng mga clearing pero dugay na din kong gibuhat ana, which is kana ako ang mga I don't meditate but I do pray. One form of clearing po nako is working out. Especially sa yugis buntag kana ganahan kay ko anak na mas 4 na mingaw kayo. Mo mo ng time good na kung mingaw door. Our thoughts saba kay na siya. And once you mellow down, you clear that, overthinking ra din ni tanan. Mo na atong kailangan buhaton sunod self. Di ba? For me, mo nang importante that we know how to help ourselves alone ba? Kita bitaw. Para if there are people that will come into our lives, they make us better, no? Dili kay ka na missing piece pa kailangan jud ko niya kay para ana gani.
Yeah, nga perspective was kay if you are, let's say, a partner, if you are looking for someone just to fill out that part, murag you're not making him or her a partner. You're making him or her a therapist. Kaya na ba? So mo po din if you find yourself at that situation, that's loneliness na gid. If loneliness is a problem for you and you want to conquer it, then you have to work on yourself yun. Lisod kina siya nowadays boss, especially sa Gen Zs. Kaya ang main outlet mo God is I think the last thing na mo come up sa mind sa mga ka-Gen Zs na ko karon is not workout, going to the gym. It's just scrolling through social media. Mo gyud na ang main outlet gyud sa people nowadays. And I've been guilty of that 2 days to be specific nga maglata ra gani ka nga kanang wa kay gibuhat kay lagi you are very down, but scrolling through social media, I wouldn't even say nga dopamine siya kay it's getting worse pa gani nga naging ana ka you just scrolling through social media. It's gonna get worse for you if you don't do anything in particular that includes physical health good kay it's not just mental health nga you need to consider but also your physical health good. It goes manggod pod, it goes together ba. Let's say if you work out, go to the gym, you run or naka-sport baron, if you do those, mental health will also follow upon. So it's very crucial, okay? And then people would say nga, lisod man na, kalisod ana ay. Ang easy thing manggod is to watch movies. It's very easy to watch movies or be on your phone the whole day and you won't even cook na lang gani because you're just gonna order, diba? So you're choosing the easy options ba, like watch movies, play games, and then sit at the couch all day, order food na lang, you won't even cook. Those are the easy options. Kaya ang hard options manggod is that you wake up early in the morning, you run, you go to the gym, you still continue to work despite the heavy feelings ba. Those are the hard things. Like what I always say, it's in the hard things that we don't want to do that gives out the best results. Gyud diha ang best results gyud. Guys, I have to emphasize that if you are having a problem with loneliness, then that may be your solution. Okay? The hard things are your solutions. Don't always choose the easy options. Mo mong nakalisod na to karon. Okay? Tungod lagi pod sa convenience the convenience of dali ra scroll, the convenience of playing games, watching movies, drinking. So mo na lagi ang mga easy options, pero ang hard options will give you the best results long term. Always think long term, guys. Mabatanon ka or millennial ka or maboomer ba karon nga generation, always think long term good, especially when it comes to mental health. You know, the loneliness. If you want to transition the loneliness to solitude, then you have to do the hard things. You have to do the hard things. Kaya I think wala jay shortcut, ana boss. Would you agree, ana?
Lahi man pud hagi. For example, let's say being intentional sa pagka-lonely nimo. For example, let's say being at the top, no? Let's say for example, kuan ka, achiever ka. Being at the top is lonely. Dili man if you have the right people with you. Kung lonely ka karon, base siguro, it's either you haven't been a good friend or imo friends aren't good for you. Naragira ang duha. But be intentional lang kay lonely ka kay pamiyaan na po kasi mo mga friends nimo. Basin from time to time think po na basin apoy issue with you, di ba? So mo na siya din na. Everything lang gyud, it depends on your how you are intentional about it. Okay, if you are aiming for peace, mas prefer nimo na ikaw lang, kay para nimo di ka ganamang hasusuban, that's okay. Diba? Pero if you are lonely, kailangan po conscious ka kung anong ingunana man na. Basi na yung problema nimo, basi yung uban na yung problema.
I think that's a really good point, no? Masking unsa gurong aspect, may it be, you have to fix, if it's a problem for you, ang loneliness, and you want to fix it, you have to make it a priority. Because let's say you're in school, or sa aspect of being in school, aspect of being in work, or being in a relationship, and then you have this problem of loneliness, it's gonna affect all those departments. In school, you might not be able to, as simple as eat, you might not be able to eat simply because you have no one to go through. At work, maybe you won't be able to perform well kay wala kay kanang mga tapad baron. Or in a relationship, you'll always have problems because of your loneliness. So it has to be a priority good that you need to attend to, kay if you won't, it's gonna affect a lot of aspects sa imong kinabuhi. Yung katay mong giingon po boss nga I've heard that a lot of times nga it's gonna be lonely at the top. Again, loneliness, it depends on a lot of factors good, like ato, maybe you're not being a good friend to others, or you are with the wrong people. So, basi ma-discourage na nun ka, nga you wanna be on top, keep in mind if it may be lonely at the top, but it's more crowded on the bottom. So, always gihapon mo strive mo ana ha, may it be unsa na ron, basta keep in mind sa kanang loneliness, boss. I think that's part of what you said ganyan. If it's a problem, most of the problems in the world, it can be solved. And I think that's one of them. So I think kana lang para sa ato episode karon. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Hinumdumi, ayaw puro chismis,
Mag-storyang kinabuhi puta.